Hello everyone, I am VTNVIVI and welcome back. Ratchet Clank Rift Apart has this thing about hidden or secret dialogues. Upon revisiting certain planets or specific areas on these planets, new lines of dialogue get triggered in-game. There is one which really caught my attention, and the first thing that went through my mind was, Insomniac Games, you did it. No. There's a potential reference to a certain character, which for some time has been a huge can of worms in this series. Just with that alone, a good number of you probably know what I'm talking about. So, where is this hidden dialogue you speak of? When you revisit Zordoom as Rivet, this area right here, where we rescued Clank and all of our friends, Rivet says something. Have a listen.
Last time I broke out of this place was with Angela. Haven't seen her in a long time.
Last time she broke out of here was with Angela. Hasn't seen her in a long time. Out of all names in the universe, they went with Angela? Heck, you could have named her Patricia and call it a day. But where's the fun in that, right? For those who just got into the series, especially with Rift Apart, you might be a bit out of the loop as to what's going on. The name Angela is what I am referring to, by the way. Before Rift Apart, I did make a video talking a bit more in depth when it comes to Angela, but I'll still give you a little summary here. The name Angela Cross in this case, she made her debut in 2003's Going Commando. Oh, and speaking of Going Commando, fun fact, there's a hidden number 2 in the logo. Insomniac Games confirmed this on their Twitter recently. Maybe you knew about this, but this is just a little fun thing I wanted to throw in here. Anywho, Angela was first disguised as the Unknown Thief. She tried stopping Megacorp from manufacturing the Protopet. Angela, who once used to work in the genetics department at Megacorp, thought these pets weren't ready to be mass-produced, and yet, the head at Megacorp, who was Quark in disguise, yes, our Quark, the one which you see right here, he tried unleashing havoc with unfinished, dangerous protopets only to try and attempt to redeem himself as a hero. Yeah, he has quite a questionable past. The point is, we first thought we were stopping a bad guy. Turns out they weren't a bad guy after all. By the way, you've probably noticed by now, we do have Megacorp logos and Protopet logos plastered all around Nefarious City, which could indicate that there is an alternate version of the Megacorp we know. As for its status in Rivet's dimension, that we do not know. The point I'm trying to make here, a lot of us, including myself, thought that, hey, she looks like a Lombax, doesn't she? For years, many thought she looked like a Lombax. For years, folks have been asking IG about this. Heck, in 2012, lead writer of the Future Saga, TJ Fixman, during the series' 10th anniversary panel, just outright said Angela is a Lombax.
So Talon is his girlfriend, it's confirmed.
Talon is his girlfriend.
So Ratchet does have a girlfriend.
And Angela's a Lombax.
And Angela's a Lombax, there it is.
Now looking inside this art book, released for its 15th anniversary, the direct quote from the book says, "Is she a Lombax or isn't she? She has no tail." We're really sorry to our fans about this one. Seriously, we mean it. The whole tail situation, we'll get into that really soon, but I do find this whole statement baffling after hearing her name in Rift Apart. They tried closing the lid, and yet they sort of reopened it. Yeah, it is just a name at the end of the day, but this name in particular comes with a lot of baggage. Alright, so about the whole tail situation. Ratchet Clank Future: A Crack in Time, a game from 2009, made a slight reference to Angela, a rather interesting one at that. During one of the news broadcasts, they not only talk about Angela's anatomy, her missing a tail, but something else as well. Have a listen.
I'm sorry, have we confirmed that Angela Cross is in fact a Lombax? I know that was the assumption, but she doesn't have a tail.
Female Lombaxes don't have tails, Kip. In fact, this just in, lots of females do not share the same anatomical traits as their male counterparts.
Did the Kirchu offer Max and Angela sanctuary from the depredations of Percival Tachyon? Did they use the so-called Lombax secret? To escape to some other cosmic plane of existence?
I don't know, Kip.
Way to theorize, Pepper.
So the news coverage goes from Angela not having a tail, assuming she's a Lombax, to them theorizing about Angela and Max Apogee using the Lombax secret, aka the Dimensionator, to flee the dimension from Tachyon's wrath. Tachyon was the villain from 2007's Tools of Destruction. He despised the Lombaxes. For those curious, Max Apogee would also be Talwyn's father, Talwyn being Ratchet's girlfriend. At least that's what we still believe after seeing the credits of Rift Apart. After a crack in time, we can't forget the comics. The villain in this story, long story short, Quark won position as president of Polaris. That triggered Artemis Zog, this guy right here. He decided to make his own galaxy by stealing planets and moving them elsewhere. The point here is, he tells Talwyn that her father fled this dimension like a coward, all to save the life of a Lombax he barely knew. So there you have it. Another straight up scenario where Angela is a Lombax. Two things out of all this. One, the tail situation. If female Lombaxes don't have tails, then why does Rivet have one? Did Angela in this case lose her tail during an experiment? She did work at Megacorp. Deeming the whole anatomy in a crack in time wrong, perhaps? Two, having explored the theme of dimensionality, visiting another dimension and all, are we to believe that Rivet came across our Angela during her escape with Apogee? However, if we do go with that mindset, how would we explain Rivet never coming across a Lombax until she met Ratchet? After all, before landing on Blazar Prime, Rivet states she never thought she'd meet one of us. Hypothetically speaking, if this Angela she referred to was the Angela Cross we knew, how would we justify her statement of not meeting another Lombax? At the end of the day, look, Rivet hasn't said anything about another Lombax, she simply mentioned Angela. Angela, in this case, could be an entirely different species. An old friend, perhaps a next member of the Resistance. But yeah, like stated before, they could have used a different name. The fact they blatantly decided to go with Angela is what gets us curious and is perhaps intentional. What do you think about this? Do you just look at this as a mere Easter egg? Or you think there's more to this story? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below. As always, a big thanks to my patrons for supporting the channel. It really means a lot. And thank you as always for all of you for tuning in. With that said, I've been Vivi, and until next time,